All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone of Major Dhyan Sports University at Merat in Uttar Pradesh today. Prime Minister transfers 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to the bank accounts of 10 crore farmers. Centre asks states to set up makeshift hospitals and control rooms in view of rising COVID cases. 44 Naxals surrender in Sukma district of Chhattisgarh. Last surviving terrorist involved in 2019 Pulwama attack killed in Anantnag encounter. GST collection in December 2021 registers 13% growth over corresponding month in 2020. UAE to ban non-vaccinated citizens from travelling abroad from January the 10th. And IMD predicts more rainfall for coastal Tamil Nadu, cold wave to continue in northwest India for next 4 days. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Merat today and lay the foundation stone of Major Dhyan Sports University around 1 p.m. The university will be established at Salawa and Kaili villages of Sardhana town in Merat at an estimated cost of about 700 crore rupees. One of the key areas of focus for the Prime Minister is inculcating sporting culture and establishing world-class sports infrastructure in all parts of the country. The establishment of Major Dhyan Sports University at Merat will be a major step towards fulfilling this vision. More from our correspondent.
Major Dhyan Sports University will be equipped with modern and state-of-the-art sports infrastructure, including synthetic hockey ground, football ground, basketball, volleyball, handball, kabaddi ground, lawn tennis court, gymnasium hall, synthetic running stadium, swimming pool, multi-purpose hall, and a cycling velodrome. The university will also house facilities for shooting, squash, gymnastic, weightlifting, canoeing, and kayaking, among other facilities. The university will have the capacity of training 1,080 sports persons, including 540 female and 540 male sports persons. One of the key areas of the focus for the Prime Minister inculcating sporting culture and establishing world-class sporting infrastructure in all parts of the country. The establishment of Major Dhyan Sports University at Merat will be a major step towards fulfilling this vision. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Merat.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has released the 10th installment of financial benefit under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme through video conferencing. More than 20,000 crore rupees were transferred to over 10 crore farmer families. Mr. Modi also released an equity grant of more than 14 crore rupees to about 351 farmer producer organizations or FPOs, which will benefit more than 1,24,000 farmers. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said it is his honor to begin the new year with the country's Annadatas. He said the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi is a big support for India's farmers. Including yesterday's transfer, more than 1,80,000 crore rupees have been transferred directly to the accounts of farmers. During the event, the Prime Minister also interacted with the FPOs.
इंद्रपाल जी, आपके सामने कुछ बॉटल पड़ी है, किस चीज की पड़ी है, टेबल पर नजर आ रही है?
सर, ये हमारा शहद है जो हम इस प्रकार इसको बेचते हैं और हमने शुरू भी किया है, लोकल मार्केट में अब बेच रहे हैं, पर जैसे ही प्रोसेस यूनिट हमारे यहाँ लग जाएगी तो हम अपने शहद को प्रोसेस करा के इन पूरे साधनों का इस्तेमाल करते हुए मेड इन भरतपुर शहद को पूरे भारतवर्ष और विदेशों में भी पहचान दिलाने की कोशिश करेंगे, ऐसी आशा है हमें।
देखिए, राजस्थान और गुजरात हम दो राज्य ऐसे हैं जहाँ पानी की किल्लत रहती है, लेकिन आपने हनी का उद्योग किसानों को जोड़ करके जो काम शुरू किया है उससे मधु भी मिलेगा और बी वैक्स भी मिलेगा, उसकी भी बहुत बड़ी खपत होती है। तो मेरी तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई।
In view of rising cases of COVID-19, the Centre has asked states and union territories to initiate the creation of field or makeshift hospitals to augment the availability of health infrastructure. In a letter to the state chief secretaries and health secretaries, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said that the arrangement can be done in coordination with DRDO, CSIR, as well as private sector, corporations, NGOs, and others. He said this will add the process of rapid creation of field hospitals or temporary hospital setups. States were also suggested to consider leveraging hotel rooms and other accommodation linked with the COVID-dedicated hospitals in government and private sectors to cater to patients having symptoms. Children between 15 and 18 years can register online on CoWIN portal to receive Covaxin shots from Monday. To register on the CoWIN site, children can use their school IDs or Aadhaar. 6 to 7 crore children in the 15 to 18 age bracket will be eligible to receive Covaxin. Healthcare and frontline workers and citizens aged 60 and above with comorbidities will be able to access vaccination for the precaution dose through their existing CoWIN account. Meanwhile, Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has urged the family members of children aged between 15 to 18 years to register for the vaccination of their children. Mr. Mandavia said, if the children are safe, then the future of the country is safe. Talking to AIR News, Member Health of Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul said,
रजिस्ट्रेशन की प्रक्रिया वही रहेगी जो अब तक रही है। आप कोविन पोर्टल पे जाओगे, आप जिस बच्चे का, जिस एडोलेसेंट बेटी का टीका लगना है, लड़के का टीका लगना है, उसका नाम एंटर करोगे, उसी तरह से ही आप एंट्री करोगे। कोई खास बदलाव नहीं है। अब कोविन आपको एक्सेप्ट करेगा, बेसिकली उसी पैटर्न पे होगा और सारे देश ने उस पैटर्न को के हिसाब से अपने आप को चिन्हित किया।
India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 145 crore 40 lakh mark. Out of the total vaccination, more than 84 crore 54 lakh vaccine doses have been administered as first dose, while over 60 crore 85 lakh doses have been administered as second dose. Union Health Ministry said that more than 22 lakh 56,000 vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. yesterday. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the centre is supporting the states and union territories by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Phone-in with Public, Dr. Sanjay Pandey of GB Pant Hospital, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. onwards on telephone number 011-2342-1230.
Nepal government has decided to ease travel restrictions imposed on the entry into the country in the wake of Omicron variant. Nepali cabinet has decided to allow travellers to visit Nepal if they do not show any symptoms similar to that of COVID-19, and they would be subjected to stay in a 10-day home quarantine. The travellers have to be fully vaccinated and should have a negative PCR report taken within 72 hours. The United Arab Emirates has announced to ban unvaccinated citizens from travelling abroad from January 10th. Citizens who are fully vaccinated will also be required to take a booster shot against COVID-19 if eligible in order to travel, reported the UAE state news agency WAM. The ban would not apply to those with medical or humanitarian exemptions.
In Chhattisgarh, 44 Naxals, including 9 women cadres, surrendered in Sukma district yesterday. They were active in Chintalnar, Kistaram and Bheji areas of the district. Sukma SP Sunil Sharma said the Naxals surrendered before the police at the newly set up police camp in Karigundam village. One of the surrendered Naxals, Mad Kamdula, was carrying a reward of 2 lakh rupees on his head. The surrendered cadres said they are disappointed with the hollow Maoist ideology and impressed by the district police's rehabilitation drive for Naxals called Puna Narkom. Puna Narkom, a Gondi word, means a new dawn. Jaish-e-Mohammed, JEM terrorist killed in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag district has been identified as Samir Dar, who was involved in the 2019 Pulwama terror attack. Inspector General of Police Kashmir Vijay Kumar said that Samir Dar was the last surviving terrorist involved in the Pulwama terror attack. He said the picture of one of the killed terrorists in Anantnag encounter on December the 30th matches with JEM top commander Samir Dar, who was the last surviving terrorist involved in Lethpora Pulwama terror attack.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 12 people were killed and 16 injured in a stampede at Mata Vaishno Devi Bhavan near Katra yesterday. J&K DGP Dilbagh Singh said that the incident occurred around 2:45 a.m. Out of the 16 injured admitted to hospital, 9 have been discharged and 7 are being treated by the doctors. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha said in a tweet that all the deceased have been identified. 10 bodies have been dispatched to their respective hometowns and 2 others will be sent today. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur have expressed sadness over the tragic incident at Mata Vaishno Devi Bhavan. An ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from Prime Minister's National Relief Fund would be given to the next of kin of those who lost their lives due to the stampede at Mata Vaishno Devi Bhavan. The injured would be given 50,000 rupees. In Ladakh, at the strategic 14.5-kilometer Zojila tunnel construction, works are in progress in freezing temperatures, which will give all-weather road connectivity to newly created UT Ladakh. More from our correspondent from Kargil.
From Minamarg on eastern portal of Zojila, 915 meters of tunneling is completed, while 700 meters length of work completed on Baltal side from west portal. Local and German machines are being used for new Austrian method tunneling works to make Zojila operational by end of 2024. Colonel Shiv Kumar, General Manager NHIDCL Kargil said,
मनोबल बहुत हाई है। सिचुएशन हमने बना रखी है यहाँ पर, जो बंदोबस्त किया हुआ है लोगों के रहने का, सामान की स्टॉकिंग करने का, राशन पानी रखने का, फ्यूल का स्टॉकिंग करने का, इक्विपमेंट के जो स्पेयर पार्ट्स हैं उनको रखने का, लोगों के रहने का अरेंजमेंट करने का। इतना अच्छा अरेंजमेंट कर दिया है हम लोगों ने कि अब सब बड़े कंफर्टेबली रह रहे हैं। जैसे आप देख रहे हैं पूरी बर्फ पड़ी हुई है यहाँ पर इस मौसम में भी, और जब टेम्परेचर -20-25 तक भी है तब भी उसमें काम 24 घंटे चल रहा है।
Mega Engineering and Infrastructure Limited project in charge for Zojila, Harpal Singh, said that learning from the last year's experience, this year they are fully prepared to face any challenges. AIR News, Naidali from Kargil, Ladakh.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone on Major Dhyan Sports University at Merat in Uttar Pradesh today. Prime Minister transfers 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to the bank accounts of 10 crore farmers. Centre asks states to set up makeshift hospitals and control rooms in view of rising COVID cases. 44 Naxals surrender in Sukma district of Chhattisgarh. Last surviving terrorist involved in 2019 Pulwama attack killed in Anantnag encounter. GST collection in December 2021 registers 13% growth over corresponding month in 2020. UAE to ban non-vaccinated citizens from travelling abroad from January the 10th. And IMD predicts more rainfall for coastal Tamil Nadu, cold wave to continue in northwest India for the next 4 days. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
पहले जो सरकार में थे वो यहाँ जमीनों पर अवैध कब्जे करवाते थे। आज ऐसे माफियाओं पर जुर्माना लग रहा है, बुलडोजर चल रहा है।
हमारे नए उत्तर प्रदेश में माफियाओं, दंगाइयों और भ्रष्टों पर हो रहा प्रहार है, इसीलिए फर्क साफ है। 2017 से पहले भूमाफिया रहते थे मौज में, 2017 के बाद रहते हैं जेल में, फर्क साफ है। 2017 से पहले मारा जाता था गरीबों का हक, 2017 के बाद पीएम आवास के जरिए मिली पक्की छत, फर्क साफ है।
Welcome back to the morning news on All India Radio. Goods and Services Tax (GST) revenue collected in December 2021 was over 1.29 lakh crore. The revenues for the month of December 2021 are 13% higher than the GST revenues in the same month in 2020 and 26% higher than the GST revenues in December 2019. Finance Ministry said December 2021 is the sixth month in a row when GST collection stood at over 1 lakh crore rupees. Ministry said, coupled with economic recovery, anti-evasion activities, especially action against fake billers, have been contributing to the enhanced GST. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has said that some positive development regarding the Armed Forces Special Powers Act (AFSPA) is expected during the year. Several groups in Assam are demanding to repeal the AFSPA. Talking to newspersons in Guwahati, the Chief Minister said militancy is on the wane in the state, with all tribal militant groups already coming forward for talks. He lauded the efforts of the tribal civil society for taking steps in bringing peace to the state.
The News Services Division brings you glimpses of the year 2021 in its special year-ender series, The Year That Was. Today we take a look at Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an initiative of the Government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of its people, culture and achievements. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on 12th of March last year from Sabarmati Ashram, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. The launch of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav 75 weeks before 15th August 2022 will continue till 15th August 2023. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi emphasized on 5 pillars of Amrit Mahotsav, which are freedom struggle, ideas at 75, achievements at 75, actions at 75 and resolves at 75.
ये पांचों स्तंभ आजादी की लड़ाई के साथ साथ आजाद भारत के सपनों और कर्तव्यों को देश के सामने रखकर आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा देंगे। इन्हीं संदेशों के आधार पर अमृत महोत्सव की वेबसाइट के साथ चरखा अभियान और आत्मनिर्भर इंक्यूबेटर को भी लॉन्च किया गया है। इतिहास साक्षी है कि किसी राष्ट्र का गौरव तभी जागृत रहता है जब वो अपने स्वाभिमान और बलिदान की परंपराओं को अगली पीढ़ी को भी सिखाता है, संस्कारित करता है, उन्हें इसके लिए निरंतर प्रेरित करता है।
Our correspondent reports that the Mahotsav is being celebrated as Jan Utsav in the spirit of Jan Bhagidari throughout the length and breadth of the country. More in this report.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is dedicated to the people of India who have not only been instrumental in bringing India as its journey as it today, but also to India's social, cultural, political and economic identity. It provides an opportunity to develop a common vision for India at its 100th year of independence. As part of it, several ministries and departments celebrated theme-based Iconic Week, with a view to enable all single-point access to information related to 75th anniversary celebrations of India's independence. Ministry of Culture has also launched the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav mobile app. As part of celebrations, Indian Railway has set up temporary exhibitions cum sale stalls of handloom and khadi material at 75 selected railway stations across the country. These stalls are symbol of Atmanirbhar Bharat. With Anand Kumar, Diwakar, Air News, Delhi.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 2nd of January 1947, Mahatma Gandhi began the March for Peace in riot-affected areas of East Bengal.
The year 1947 dawned with the darkest possible prospects in India, with no political certainty. When news of disturbances in Bengal came through, Gandhiji cancelled all his plans and decided to leave for the riot-affected areas. In Noakhali, East Bengal, he noticed how fear, hatred and violence had come to pervade the countryside. He toured the villages and tried to lift the issue of peace from the plane of politics to that of humanity. He pleaded it should be common ground among all parties, that standards of civilized life would not be thrown overboard. Gandhi's presence acted as a soothing balm for the villages of East Bengal as he eased tensions and assuaged anger.
We also remember freedom fighter Hare Krishna Mahatab, who died on the 2nd of January 1987. Popularly known as Utkal Keshari, Mahatab underwent several terms of imprisonment during the freedom struggle.
Hare Krishna Mahatab was born on November the 21st, 1899 in Agarpada village of Odisha's Balasore district. He left his graduation in 1921 to join the independence movement. In 1930, he became the president of Utkal Pradesh Congress Committee, and the same year he was imprisoned for participating in the Satyagraha movement. During imprisonment, he translated the Valmiki Ramayana into Uriya and produced the Uriya prose version of the Bhagavad Gita. In 1932, he suffered further imprisonment for participating in the Salt Satyagraha.
On his release, Mahatab spent some time at Bardoli with Mahatma Gandhi and published Rachana, a periodical advocating Gandhiji's thoughts and philosophy. During the Quit India movement in 1942, he was arrested along with top political leadership of the country. Mahatab remained imprisoned at Ahmednagar Fort Jail for 2.5 years and was released in May 1945.
Mahatab was the first Chief Minister of Odisha from April 1946 to May 1950. He was the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry from 1950 to 1952 and later the Governor of Bombay from 1955 to 1956. After resigning from governorship in 1956, he again became the Chief Minister of Odisha from 1956 to 1960. During his 10 years as a Chief Minister, he played a significant role in the merger and integration of former princely states, shifting of the capital from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar, and the sanction and construction of the multi-purpose Hirakud Dam project. He was elected to the Lok Sabha in 1962 from Anugul. He continued to serve the people till the very end. We salute the great nationalist.
Vande Bharat Kesarindra Sumate Karunyavaranidhe Vande Hrittad Padma Madhya Sulasal Acharya Tubhyam Namah.
We also remember freedom fighter and social reformer Mannathu Padmanabhan, who was born on the 2nd of January 1878 in Kottayam, Kerala. Padmanabhan is considered a visionary reformer who organized the Nair community under the Nair Service Society.
Padmanabhan fought for social equality. In 1924, he took part in the Vaikom Satyagraha and in 1931 in Guruvayur Satyagraha, demanding temple entry for so-called lower castes. He opened his family temple for everyone, irrespective of caste distinction.
On the 25th of May 1947, Padmanabhan delivered his famous Muthukulam speech at Muthukulam, Alappuzha. He was arrested by the British for participating in the Indian freedom movement on the 14th of June 1947. After independence, Padmanabhan joined politics and continued to serve people. We salute the great social reformer.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with EIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Janutsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with listeners on Monday, the 3rd of January 2022. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. India Meteorological Department has predicted more rainfall in coastal Tamil Nadu and continuation of cold wave in northwest India during the next 4 days. IMD said Bay of Bengal coast spanning Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karaikal is expected to receive a fresh bout heavy rainfall. It said a fresh active western disturbance and cyclonic circulation is likely to affect northwest India from tomorrow. We spoke to IMD scientist R.K. Jenamani about the prevailing cold wave.
Today, 2nd January, the cold wave to severe cold wave is prevailing over Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab and Haryana because one very active western disturbance is affecting the North India and rain and snow likely over most places over the hills, states like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir from 3rd night and heavy snow also over 1 or 2 places over these areas. On 4 and 5 of January, plains including Delhi likes to get rain from 5th January.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Leh is likely to have rain or snow. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Muzaffarabad will have probability of thunderstorms. And National Capital Delhi will have a moderate fog. In Mumbai, the minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. City is expected to have mainly clear sky.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Under the headline, registration opens for children's vaccination, Hindustan Times mentions about the heavy response on Thursday as over 3 lakh children between 15 and 18 years registered themselves on CoWIN. Despite COVID chip crisis, car sales topped 30 lakh in 2021, notes the Times of India. A front page headline in the Economic Times reports GST collections grow 13% in December to 1.3 lakh crore rupees, showing a strong bounce from pre-COVID levels. The Indian Express says 5 lakh doses sent in first vaccine aid after Kabul fell, more soon as gift for people of Afghanistan. FCRA registration of 6,000 NGOs lapses, writes the Hindu. The paper adds registration must to receive foreign funding. And finally, the Tribune mentions women taking to growing a popular tea flavor, fetching regular income in Dharamshala blog. The headline says, boosting income, chamomile farming picks up in Dharamshala.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lay foundation stone of Major Dhyan Sports University at Merat in Uttar Pradesh today. Prime Minister transfers 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to the bank accounts of 10 crore farmers. Centre asks states to set up makeshift hospitals and control rooms in view of rising COVID cases. 44 Naxals surrender in Sukma district of Chhattisgarh. Last surviving terrorist involved in 2019 Pulwama attack killed in Anantnag encounter. GST collection in December 2021 registers 13% growth over corresponding months in 2020. UAE to ban non-vaccinated citizens from travelling abroad from January the 10th. And IMD predicts more rainfall for coastal Tamil Nadu. Cold wave to continue in northwest India for next 4 days. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.